You're watching Pyro Media Network.
Drop the top, I'm in the coupe, riding shady with my boo. Got a slim thing that's gon' shoot she off the water too. Been getting money, can't cuff no, he gon' go. If you got it, throw some more. Spend that money, you ain't broke. Shake that money maker, show me what your mama gave you. Got it out the mud, it ain't a out here said I made you. Just think they cute, they be chicken like the commentators. If I see you with your booty, babe, you know I gotta take them. Man, this shit expensive, we getting money bags. Man, this shit expensive, we out here popping tags. Man, this shit expensive, ain't even gotta ask. Man, this shit expensive, you see it on it. Man, this shit expensive, we getting money bags. Man, this shit expensive, we out here popping tags. Man, this shit expensive, ain't even gotta ask. Man, this shit expensive, you see it on it. We in the majors, grab a script, this a movie. You know you talking to the queen like Austin Powers. It get groovy, explicit. Yo, my he eat it up just like
If this is your
smoothie.
first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience with us is fruitful. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. And we do hope you consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
What is going on, Pyro fam? We are back with another episode of Pyro Power Hour. I am your host, and I'm coming to you guys from a podcast style today because I'm tired. There's a lot going on, and I am not at my full desk. So I want to make sure that I still came to you guys and gave you what you guys needed on today. And there's a lot to talk about. I had to take Friday off. I was going to do a Kwame Speaks episode, but I wanted to get more information on what's been going on and what's been happening. And so, yeah, let's see who's in the building, though. What is going on? Cupcake, yes, we're going to get to that in a second. We want to do some good news first. Yeah, everybody say happy birthday. What's up, Dr. Holt? How you doing? Keats, what is going on? Make sure you guys share. What is going on, Michaela? Thank you so much for coming on through. Appreciate y'all. I love you guys so much. Thank you. Greetings, Deacon, Dr. Professor, Apostle, Bishop, Elder, Supervisor, Principal, Evangelist, Overseer, Pope, not Pope, Holt, the 48th President of Happy China. What the hell? Okay, you are wild for that. Corinthians, Bentley, Uncle Holt. You know what? We're gonna keep that up for a little bit. That's hilarious. Happy China, the second Corinthians, Bentley, Uncle Holt. That is new. That is new. I have to commend you on that one. Good stuff. All right. What is going on, y'all? Make sure you guys are doing me a quick favor real quick and hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and also share so that way we can go ahead and let everybody know that we're loud, live, and in the color. I appreciate you guys so much for all that you do. All right, y'all, we got a lot to talk about because a lot's been going down. First and foremost, I want to welcome you guys on today. And like I said, today is going to be a little bit of a different show. We typically have a full-on show with the birthday shout-outs, with all of that stuff, but I wanted to do a little bit of a town hall. Dr. Holt said, and I stopped by Miss Ling Ming restaurant when I left work today too. You know, Cupcake is very discerning. She knows things outside of the things that people know. We love Cupcake, the head of security. Praise Jesus. All right, y'all. But yeah, so we have a lot to talk about today. I want to welcome you guys to the show. It is our Monday, so we're kicking off the Monday, or kicking off this week with a Monday show. Just FYI, effective October, this Monday show is no longer going to be called Pyro Power Hour. It's going to be called the Monday night kickoff. So we're going to be changing that in October, and then we'll have regular Pyro Power Hour on Wednesday, and then Kwame Speaks on Friday to round up the week. And then as well as new shows next week, next Monday. I'm super excited for next Monday, because next Monday we're going to be debuting our fall premiere. So you'll get to see all of our new shows that are going to be coming up in the next couple of months, and all of our new clients, as well as our new hosts of these different shows that are going to be on this. So I'm looking forward to you guys checking that out. Also, if you are not a part of Patreon, make sure you guys are joining Patreon, because our new hosts, guests, and all of that stuff is going to be on there as well, dropping some dope content. So make sure you guys check that out as well. As promised, my fur child, the Monday night kickoff. You've been watching sports. I actually have been watching sports. Okay, I saw the Rams and Texan game. I think that was Saturday. Great job they did. The Eagles played. Who did they play? It doesn't matter, because they won anyway, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was yesterday. But yes, I've been getting into sports, Cupcake. You'll be very surprised to me. I will not be creating a sports podcast of my own. If there's anybody out there that loves sports and you want to do the rah-rah, pound your chest thing, go sports, titties, beers, and all that stuff, go ahead and hit me up and we can create a show for you. Okay? All right. So, Dr. Ho, we know why you watch. Sports. The Eagles played Kansas City. Yeah, that's right. They played Mahomes. I know it's Mahomes, but I like to call him Mahomes. And what's it? Taylor's boo. Taylor's fiance now. Congratulations, Taylor Swift. All right, so shout out to my fur child, Bentley. If you are on my TikTok or Instagram or any of my social medias, you probably saw this. I cannot play the music because obviously, YouTube is a little crazy, but I did create a little reel for my little boo. And it was so cute going back in the day, seeing all of like when he was a baby. Like I remember him being in the palm of my hand. Like Bentley was so tiny. So I'm super excited to see that he is flourishing, super healthy, and is spoiled and all that jazz. So he is blessed. He's been a blessing to me, and I love spoiling him and just being his fur dad. Well, he's my fur child, but being his pop. So I love him. And he was over here. He's in this crate now. So period. Happy birthday, Bentley. He was cutie when he was a puppy. Yeah, you guys remember when he was a puppy. I had a little Bentley segment. I think I'm gonna bring that back. I think it was like what was that segment called? I couldn't remember, but it was like a photo, just because Dr. Ho would always text me and ask for proof of life for Bentley. So I just created a segment for him. So I might bring that back. But anywho, shout out to you guys. Like I said, welcome. Make sure you guys are liking, sharing, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So thank you guys so much. Let's get into this town hall. I don't want to waste you guys' time. And if it's anybody else's birthday today, it doesn't matter to me. I'm sorry, my baby. Oh, Bentley time. That's right. Thank you, Cupcake. I might bring that back. Bentley time. I remember the show where he was chilling in his chair in the background. That's right. Yeah, he's too big for that now. He's gonna get in my way. But anyway, we'll see. Maybe I'll have like a little camera for him while he's watching. I might put him on the side. He could be my little co-host. We'll see how it goes. I think that's a good idea. I think I might do that. Anywho, let's get into this town hall, y'all. We got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. First and foremost, let me say this. As you guys know, last week there was an assassination of Charlie Kirk. I want to say this very clearly and very emphatically. I in no way condone political violence. I in no way think that what happened to him was justified. What happened to him should have happened. I don't think any of that. I think that whoever did it, we're going to talk about him in a second, and once he's been found to be the one that did it, he should be prosecuted to the furthest extent of the law. And I believe that on both sides, whether it be on the left or the right. I think if somebody, it happened on our side, the same thing should happen. However, although I am not celebrating his death, although I do not think that he should have been unalived, although I am not, going over here and thinking that it's justified, I am not going to sit here and paint him out, Charlie Kirk, to be this hero. because he wasn't. He was a very divisive, very manipulative, and very I don't want to say evil, but very harmful to politics. Very harmful to this country, in my personal opinion. Okay, this is my opinion.
That's my opinion.
That's it. It's my opinion, and I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It is what it's going to be. Okay. Again, don't think that he should have been unalive or anything like that. But I'm not going to sit here and make him, this golden boy of truth and light, because he wasn't. Okay. Now, with that being said, we have a suspect or a person of interest that has been apprehended and arrested. Michaela says, I don't condone violence, but what I will say that this situation is, I hope it wakes people up from the left and people from the right. They keep on saying that we don't need mental health in America. Listen, we're going to get to that in a second, Michaela, and I firmly agree with what you just said, but we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But this man is Tyler Robinson. Full name is Tyler James Robinson. Now, I did take the time to get updated facts today because so much has happened last week since Charlie Kirk was unalived, and so much has happened since I was going to do the show on Friday, which I canceled it, and so much has happened over the weekend. So these updated facts we have is that the suspect, his name, like I said, is Tyler James Robinson, and he's age 22. Charges have been he's been arrested and charged with aggravated murder, felony firearm discharge resulting in serious bodily harm, and obstructions of justice. He is being held without bail. Okay, now how he's being connected, there's been some forensic evidence that's been put out right now that the news outlets are bringing up. This is per The Guardian, CBS News, Reuters, and the such. DNA from a towel wrapped around the firearm used to unalive Kirk, and a screwdriver found on the rooftop where the shot came from, both match Robinson. Okay, the bullet casings and ammunition had inscriptions messaging, quote, "Hey fascists, catch," quote, "Oh Bella Ciao," quote, if you read this, you are gay, LMAO. And a mean gaming culture reference as well. And there's a lot of other stuff that was involved in that, a lot of other things, and people were trying to associate that with this group called the Grapers, and they are typically associated with Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is a right-wing, far right-wing. Like, I mean, he was way further to the right than Charlie Kirk was, okay? And even Charlie Kirk, Nick Fuentes had issues with Charlie Kirk because he felt like Charlie Kirk was not right-wing enough, okay? And I also find it really interesting, like people like Laura Loomer, who is another loon and another far-right influencer. I find it very interesting that she is now all of a sudden like, oh my God, why would you do this to Kirk and blah, blah, or Charlie and blah, blah, Charlie. Girl, you literally a couple of months ago, if not last month, was sitting there bashing him, saying that he wasn't far right enough and going after Charlie Kirk. So now all of a sudden, it's now you're his bestie. You have thoughts and prayers, girl. Anyway, Robinson had also traced Kirk's appearances, viewed campus maps, and investigators believe he planned elements of surveillance. Okay. Now the timeline that now Kirk was shot on September 10th at Utah Valley University during a Turning Point USA event. He was unalived from a rooftop 200 yards away using a bolt-action Moiser rifle. After the shooting, Robinson jumped off the rooftop and fled into nearby woods and a neighborhood. The motive is still not really kind of clear at this point. Okay. Robinson reportedly, quote, turned political recently, which was, this is from Al Jazeera. He developed a strong dislike for Kirk. Okay. Governor Spencer Cox says Robinson had, quote, leftist ideology, quite different from his conservative family background. And now this is coming from the Washington Post and also Al Jazeera. And in messages, bullet inscriptions, digital footprint suggests political ideology motivations, but investigators still have not publicly confirmed a fully detailed motive. And Robinson is not cooperating with the authorities at this time. However, the family, roommate, and romantic partner who is currently transitioning from male to female are cooperating with investigators. The partner reportedly did not know of the plan. Okay, this is what Al Jazeera and People.com is reporting as well. Okay, that the partner did not know. Now, I find it really interesting that they brought up the partner, because I don't understand. Like, okay, yes, we need to figure out, like, the motive and all that stuff, whatever. But my problem is that a reason for that person for Robinson to unalive somebody? I don't think so. Like I always find it interesting and frustrating at the same time that when we have situations like Amadou Diallo, excuse me, George Floyd, name it, hashtags. Okay, there's so many of us, so many to talk about. That there's always a background check on them and finding out like who they are and saying, oh, it was because of this, drugs and all this stuff or whatever. But when it's a white person, when it's a Caucasian, a cisgendered white man, they never seem to take accountability. Now it's all of a sudden mental health. Now it's all of a sudden because he was trans affiliated. Now it's all of a sudden, something else. Other than the fact that this dude had a sick motive in his mind and went too far. I don't care who it is, whether it be somebody on the left, whether it be somebody on the right. There is no excuse for political violence. There's no excuse for any type of violence of that caliber. I think it's ridiculous. It's unbecoming of what they claim that this country is about. But what's funny is that this is what this country has been about since its inception. So that's what frustrates me about the whole situation. Don't sit there and make it seem like it's, because he's trans or he was trans affiliated or his partner was trans or because he was in a gay relationship, whatever the situation is. It's so frustrating. And then now they want to sit on their high horse. And I've done the research over the weekend, you guys. I'm not sitting here. This is not hyperbole. I'm not sitting here BSing y'all. Okay? Yes, I lean towards the left, but I'm also very critical of our own people too. I was not happy with the debate that Donald Trump and Joe Biden had. I thought Joe Biden was declining. I still believe that. I think that was. I think that he should have bowed out earlier. But those are opinions and beliefs that we can all have without pow-powing somebody. And I don't think it's a problem where, even though I have a strong respect for President Obama, I thought that he made mistakes in his political career. Does that take away the fact that he should be respected? I'm not a person of that thinks that he was a great president. Absolutely. But I still think that even with greatness, there's still things that you can be criticized on, that could be room for improvement. That is the difference between people who are sane and people who between. Perfect example. This is the difference between fans and stans. And I talked about this a couple of months ago on Pyro Power Hour when it came to Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. There's a difference between fans and stans. You could say that with Rihanna's Navy. You could say that with Beyonce's Beehive. You could say that with any major thing. But there's something specific about this cult that is surrounding MAGA. Not even surrounding MAGA, that is MAGA. That is completely different from any other freaking group. And when we have Kwame Speaks this week on Friday, I'm going to detail to you guys research anything that you guys can go online and look at, and I'll cite the sources and everything. Research on how all of a sudden we're having this situation where now the right is in there trying to sit on this high horse, saying that the left is these violent, horrible extremist group, and that Democrats are violent and horrible and inciting violence. When we can statistically look at all of the stuff that has happened within the past couple of months, the past couple of years, the past decade, and see that a high percentage of political violence has came and stemmed from the right. None of what I'm saying is taking away from the fact that Charlie Kirk should have been unalived. But don't sit here and piss on me and call it rain. Don't sit here and all of a sudden act like he wasn't a horrible, horrible, divisive person. Just like the person that he was fighting for and trying to put in office, which would be Trump. Speaking of Trump, let's have a conversation on Trump for just a few seconds. When we had any other Republican president, when we had any other Democratic president, whether it was a left, right, center, or just some nut job that was sitting there causing some type of chaos, anarchy, or political violence in this country, any type of domestic terrorist movement or issue, all of those other presidents was the same ones that sat there and brought the country together with a message, or at least tried to with a message. Of course, you had people that were super far left or super far right and had their own moments of standing in the ground, and they're going to put their feet and dig their feet into the sand. You can't help those people. And that goes for both people on the left and people on the right. But what you did not see was further division within the conversation of something in a post-tragedy, like you do with this ass nugget. What you don't see with this ass nugget is a situation where you say, wow, this shouldn't have happened. One of my so-called friends, somebody I cared about, was assassinated due to political violence. Maybe I should tone the rhetoric down. But yet, instead of you doing that, you incite more violence. You go on Fox News and incite more division. And then literally the next day, when they ask you, hey, in light of everything that's going on with your with Charlie Kirk and after his assassination, how are you doing? And instead of saying, I am praying, I'm going through the things that I'm going through because I'm grieving, you say, I'm great because they're building right now my damn ballroom. Now, most people would look at that and say, wow, he's building, he doesn't give a damn about Charlie Kirk. That's freaking obvious. But what people don't realize when he said that, that's not what alarmed me. I'm going to tell you what alarmed me, you guys. Nobody, no president changed or made any permanent changes to the White House. They may have redecorated, they may have added a couple of other things for their tenure or while they were there, but no president has made any permanent changes to the White House. You want to know why? Because they only had 4 to 8 years to be in the damn office. And so what alarms me is that someone who is making permanent changes like that, accepting, you remember that plane that he had? that he got from I believe it was Qatar, or maybe it was Saudi Arabia. I don't remember. One of the Middle East countries. He was given a plane, and there was a whole big hoopla about how that was bribery. Obviously, duh. But you're using government funds to change that out, to retrofit it, massive taxpayer dollars, and then by the end of your term, it's not even going to be ready until the end of your term. And then you allegedly are going to be leaving at that point. Isn't that weird for y'all? Don't you think that that's weird? If I'm coming into a space and I'm making permanent changes to a space, that means I plan on staying there past where I was designated to stay there. Think about that. Not only are we having situations like that go on, and not giving a damn about what was going on with Charlie Kirk, his so-called friend, the person that helped him be in the damn or get into the damn office by rallying and infusing energy into the conservative youth. But he also said this today. Check this out.
Are you going with us? Are you going with us, Maggie?
Not with you.
Good.
Just one more on Venezuela. The president of Venezuela called the strike on the boat illegal. Are you concerned that Maduro might escalate something?
So what's illegal are the drugs that were on the boat and the drugs that are being sent into our country, and the fact that 300 million people died last year from drugs. That's what's illegal.
Do you think he's not telling the truth when he's...
Okay, now listen, y'all. I have an issue when people sit there and say, that, Biden was on a decline. Yes, he was on a decline. But nobody sees that this fool is on a decline too. Now, he said that there was 300 million people that died last year from drugs. Now, you know me, y'all. I do my research. I asked Google, what was the population, or what is the current population of the United States of America? Okay, you guys can do that too. All right, you can go into Google. It's going to give you the same answer. The U.S. population is the current U.S. population is an estimated 342.5 million people as of mid-September of 2025. Okay, and in fact, there has been an increase. There has been an increase in the past year. Yet, the right has been talking about how there's white replacement theory. Okay, whatever. We're moving on. But my point is that if there was over 300 million people that was unalived last year due to drugs, don't you think somebody would have noticed something like that in the United States? You're talking about over 3/4 of the population being unalived due to drugs. The man's nuts, okay? They're eating the cats and they're eating the dogs. I'm not going to say that too loud because I don't want Bentley to get scared, okay? Trump is on hospice care, girl. Them swollen ankles and them hands. Listen, I don't know what's going on with him, girl. Only 3 million people right. It's dementia. It's something, girl. Now, we're not doctors, so I don't want to sit here and try to diagnose the fool. But something's going on with him. Just like y'all saying something was going on with Biden, totally agree with you something was going on with him. He was in the decline, okay? But let's be intellectually honest about the situation. Can we? And all of this is leading to a fracture, which people are saying, oh, it's fracturing the United States. The United States has been fractured, y'all. Let's stop BSing right now. She said, I'm a doctor of education. It's dementia. Hilarious. Let's stop BSing. Like, for real. There's been issues going on. And just this past weekend, there was a rally in Huntington Beach. My brother, who flew into town last week, had a conference in Huntington Beach, which I got to visit him, and we went out to eat and stuff like that and hung out. just in Huntington Beach. So it is not shocking to me, and this is not something that's not been happening. When in the first the first term of Trump, when you remember the people with the tiki torches, I think it was in Georgia or maybe somewhere, I think it was in Atlanta or in Georgia or whatever, but the tiki torch people, that was all over. It wasn't just the tiki torch people, it was all over. There's issues going on in every dang on state. Okay? Oh, it's not fast enough, Michaela. It is not fast enough. We got a lot more to go. We got to pray through it. And that's if he decides that he wants to leave, because we don't know what the hell's going on. Every day he's doing whatever the hell he wants to do. But I don't know if you're watching or if you guys follow a lot of political influencers, but this particular influencer, her name is Mater. And I really enjoy her content. She is a former far-right Christian nationalist. She grew up in a family like that, and she woke up after a while, and has been speaking against speaking truth to power since. Okay, she brought up something that I found super interesting, and a lot of people think that Trump is the end all be all of evil. I think that JD Vance is worse. But regardless, all of the issues that are going on with this administration, there's a method to the madness, because for a while, especially with everything that's going on with the distractions that they're trying to distract us from the Epstein files, I think that is a huge deal, and it was fracturing the right, especially it was fracturing MAGA. There was a lot going on with MAGA. There was a bunch of issues going on with MAGA. There's still some fracturing going, but they could not. Charlie Kirk's, unaliving could not have come at a more opportune time for this administration. And I'm gonna tell you why. Well, I'm gonna have Mater tell you why. Check this out.
While our side of the aisle certainly has its crazies, it is a statistical fact that most of the lunatics in American politics today are proud members of the far left.
So here's the extremist-related killings from 2013 to 2022, and you're never going to guess who's in red. Matter of fact, we want to go back further. This goes all the way back to 1990, not including the Oklahoma City bombing. Guess who's in orange? There has only been 1 year in the last 35 years that the left has come anywhere close to the violence on the right. But this is all a tool, because Charlie Kirk dying is the best thing for their mission and reunifying their base that they could ever have. And facts don't matter to Jim Bob.
I mean, what else can you say about that? You guys better pay attention. Thank you, Dr. It was Virginia with the tiki charger. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, that's another conversation, allegedly. That's another conversation, Dr. Ho. We'll talk about that in Patreon. Promise you that. Let's take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we'll get into some more stuff here. There's a lot going on, and I just think it needs to be talked about. And I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you guys are on, if you're watching on the replay, make sure you guys put it in the comments. And yeah, we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Pastor Kim from It's Just Kim Live Show, and you're watching Pyro Media Network.
are Black, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Make sure you guys hit that like, share, and subscribe button. It does help the algorithm. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning on in. All right, y'all. Let's get into some things here, y'all. Listen, if you guys are just tuning in, we were talking about what was going on with the whole Charlie Kirk situation, everything that's been happening with the far left and their media campaign, and then also just some interesting thoughts on what's been happening with Trump and why he's acting the way he's been acting, and responding the way he's been responding. Let's see what the people say in the. I can't put that up, y'all. I can't put that up. That's not. Listen, I want to make sure everybody knows that these are all the opinions and thoughts of the audience members, and does not reflect the opinions and thoughts and stances of Pyro Media Enterprises. Okay? All right, cool. Crazy up in here. Yes. Anywho, Pete, stop. Y'all are a mess. Yeah. So listen, I just really think that we're just in a space that, a dark space right now, where we need to kind of really either rein back on the rhetoric, and that goes on both sides. I think talking about civil war or any of that stuff is really, really not conducive or not productive to the conversation. It doesn't lead to anywhere. Okay, and it's not going to do anything but cause further division and further issues. Don't inbox me. Listen, yeah, inbox me. Don't inbox Pyro daughter. Okay, I got nothing to do with it. Talk to Dr. Hall. But yeah, so I just really think that we're in a dark space, and this is a turning point for the community. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the link if you guys want to drop in. You don't have to turn your camera on. I know who you guys are, and unless you guys come in weird, I'm gonna drop the link real quick, and you guys jump in if you have any questions, concerns, or if you want to just add any comments to anything that's going on. Let's see. All we talked about was it's Bentley's birthday. It's okay, y'all. Kwame knows I don't do politics. Listen, that's all that matters at this point. Sometimes you got to find a little light in the darkness, and Bentley has definitely been my light in the darkness several times throughout my life. So, but yeah, I would love to hear what you guys have to say. If you guys have any questions, concerns, or even just thoughts on things, put it in the comments, or even hop into onto the live real quick. But listen, I really want you guys to be careful. And this is not fear mongering. This is not any type of hyperbole or anything like that. I'm not trying to incite anything. I just want you guys to be careful out there. It is dangerous. It is some issues going on, and people acting crazy. Not everybody, and even in blue states. I'm in California, and there was a rally, in Huntington Beach, that got a little physical. So please don't think now. Granted, Huntington Beach is a little more MAGA area, but that's not the point. There's a MAGA areas everywhere, okay? Just like there's left areas everywhere. So I just want you guys to be careful. Just be aware of your surroundings, navigate things accordingly, and just be careful. Like some things, like you don't need to talk about stuff at certain spaces. Like I don't have political conversations when I'm working in the field. I don't have political conversations at a doctor's office. I don't have those type of things. Like those are conversations that I keep with you guys, and I also keep within my close people that I know. Michaela says, all we can do is keep God first. Make sure we have all our necessities, and you sit back and let it unfold. Listen, that's it. That's it, and that's all. That's that we want to leave. That's the comment of the day, Michaela. Because at the end of the day, and at the end of the black ass day, like for real, God is still in control. And that's all that matters. And that is really where I'm at with things. Because what it's gonna be is gonna be. Come around here if you want. That's all I stop. It's a mess. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I love you guys. I truly do. I appreciate you guys coming on through. And again, the views and opinions expressed by the host of this broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Pyro Media Network or Pyro Media Enterprises. Okay? Cool. All right, y'all. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. I love you guys. Stay blessed. You're so stupid. Stay blessed, stay stress-free, and make sure you keep your eyes on the prize and be aware of everything that's going on. Until then, I will see you guys on Wednesday. And until then, stay blessed and stay safe. Peace, y'all.
Thank you for watching Pyro Media Network. For more information, please visit pyromedianetwork.com.